Right. Welcome in, my lovelies, to our Wise and Well Woman Workshop series. Today, we are going to be sharing with you the theme of leadership and all that leadership is about, from the body, the mind, and to the soul. So for today, I encourage you to step into your wise and well leader, that version of you that knows that she is leading. Whether you have a business, whether you are maybe the head of the family, or you help with community aspects, know that you are leading those that love and care about you the most. You're leading those that are watching you. And so today it's about more embodiment of the ripple effect that you want to see in this world. We're going to start off by setting an intention around your wise and well leader. Who is she? What does she embody? So that you can begin to build that into your new wise and well woman identity. Throughout this workshop series, we're going to dive deeper into that soul level work when we do more of the spiritual growth workshop, as well as the wellness workshop, where we're going to tap into that divine woman and what does she need to feel well. So think about it, if you were well, you were deeply connected to your soul's purpose, and you were a leader, what could happen in your life and what could happen in the lives of those that you touch? So today is that first piece of the puzzle, leadership. Today is an opportunity for you to start to make stronger declarations for your worth, for the work that you do in the world, and for, as I call it in many of my experiences, your legacy, the legacy you want to leave this world with. With that, I'm going to pull a card to see what's a little message for our leaders here, whether you're live or you're tuning into the recording. Again, my event kind of deck I use is Louise Hay's How to Love Yourself. And I'm going to clear this deck from our last gathering. And I'm going to see what's in store for us. So those of you that are live, if you want to just breathe into the power of the community here, and we're going to see what messages for our community today. Now, what I'm going to do after the fact is, don't worry, you'll be able to get the recording so you can see this if you do want to screenshot the card. All right. Leaders. Wise and well leaders. What's the message? It's in there. All right. Everything I need comes to me in the perfect time. I relax and enjoy life. I know that whatever I need to know is revealed to me in the perfect time and space sequence. Ooh, everything I need comes to me in the perfect time. Well, perfect time for me because on Eastern time, it is 1:11. So just saying, that card has got some extra magic today. So I love that. And with that card, with all of the energy it has from probably all of your specific connections to it, as well as our community connection, I want to light our community candle for today. In every gathering I run for the entire year is housed in here. And that means your intentions are going to get ignited into this candle today. And I can't look forward to hear what they are very soon. So in honor of our wise and well woman leaders, the candle is lit. We're going to now go a little bit deeper, taking that message of the card, taking in what maybe a leader means to you, and going into a brief meditation. Now, for me, I'm going to be utilizing some great essential oil blends throughout our workshop series. And the blend that I really want to, especially for leader, that I want to step more into is I want to step into this invigorating blend. It's called Citrus Bliss. It's got a whole bunch of citrus oils in it. And for me, citrus uplifts. And in this moment of wanting to step into that leader, I want to feel that bubbling up, uplifting energy. So that's the oil I chose for today, for our gathering meditation. And if you have an oil, feel free to grab it. And if you don't, feel free to just be present with self. And wherever we're at, we're going to close our eyes. And if you have an essential oil, just cup your hands over your nose. And all together, oil or not, take a deep breath in and let it all go. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And slowly now, as the eyes stay closed, the hands will rest down. If you feel you need more grounding energy today, palms will face down. If you feel you need more inspiration, palms up. And as you breathe here, just feel the body begin to soften from head to toe. Begin to connect deeper to that belly breath. And feel yourself in, as I call it, your sacred space with you, where you are right now. And as you continue to breathe, feel that emanate out into our sacred virtual circle. All our wise and well women, whether we're here live, we're tuning into the recording, know that we are all connected together. And as you step in to a curious mindset to what your intention is for embodying your leadership, feel free, as I call it, to welcome in your spiritual posse. This could be guides, angels, ancestors, mentors, God, universe, anything that you feel connected to. Welcome them in to guide you. And now your journey begins. What's my intention to begin to fully embody my leadership? As you breathe in that curiosity, start to notice sensations, shapes, colors, circumstances. Allow things to flow through your consciousness, bringing you little juicy nuggets of wisdom to what your intention is. And now you might begin to have started to find some explanations to what this is. And if you haven't already, start to bring words to what embodying your leadership looks like. As these words flow through, these words might be more action-oriented words. These words might be more feeling, emotion words. Just tapping into the words, or if at all possible, to a word that helps you to connect to your leadership. And just continue to breathe till you've landed on that. And breathing that in fully. Start to begin to deepen that breath as you fill yourself up with this intention. As your breath deepens, imagine you're filling the toes all the way to the fingers, all the way to the head with your intention. As you breathe, feel your lungs breathing the air of your intention and the heart beating throughout yourself as your intention. Start to feel a tickle of your cells begin to ignite with your intention. And your energy emanates out, filled with this intention. And now to feel completely full, continue to breathe this fullness back into the awareness of being connected to our sacred circle here. And as you continue to breathe, feel connected to yourself now, back in your sacred space. And with this deeper connection, thanking your spiritual posse, knowing they're always there to guide you. And all together, we'll take 3 breaths before we come out of this. If you used an oil, cup those hands back over nose. All together, inhale. Exhale. Breath in. And out. Breath in. And breath out. And then when you're ready, taking your time, you can wiggle a little, rolling the shoulders or neck. And when you're ready, you'll slowly open your eyes. You're taking as long as you need to come back to the room. And feel free to jot down anything in your Wise and Well Woman journal that came from that, insights from your guides, anything that came up around the intention. And I'll give us just a moment to journal that. And then once you feel called, if you do, feel free to type that into the chat. You could type where you're zooming in from if you're live, and type your intention in if that calls to you. And I'll give us just a moment to come back to reality. And as we come back to reality, I'm going to stop my spotlight so I can see all your faces again. Wonderful. Caroline in Bay City, Michigan, self-love. Yes, self-love. I just wrote a whole newsletter about that, and like self-love and how some people think it's so cheesy, but it's truly sacred. So you must be reading my mind, Caroline. I love it. We have a lovely iPhone. I can't wait to meet who iPhone is, but she says integrity. Yes. Direct authenticity, intuition. Down East Maine. Ooh, loving who that is. Susan, step up. Yes. Lead, gather, mentor, and empower. I think that's a wonderful addition to what came to you last week in Wise Working Women with visibility. Great intention. Maria's in Northeastern Pennsylvania. Choose me. Ooh, I feel like that's like a really good like Valentine's heart to get. Choose me. Kimberly from Orlando, grounding in who I am and self-compassion or connection, self-connection. Ursula, empowerment and trust. Ooh, those are 2 of my big words, Ursula. Bethany, Binghamton, New York, inspire. Yes, yes. Jackie's from Delaware, coming in with abundance. I love it. Regina, she's a little south of Orlando, down in Florida. Heighten and own. I love it. Mindy is service. Rebecca in Lake Worth, Florida. Kindness, compassion. Ooh, forgiveness, forgiveness. You said it twice. And so it is. Awesome. And for all the ladies listening to the recording, there's an opportunity, and for all of you live, there's going to be an opportunity to share in the private Facebook group that I'm going to share a little bit later on, to be connected into a virtual community in between our gatherings. So we're just going to say there's so many more intentions that we're going to begin to hear throughout this week as we have the leaders listen into the recording. So we're going to go around the room today to just have you share. We have a nice group of people. We don't have too many, so we can share today a little bit about your intention. And so for this part, feel free, if you are in a quiet space, to come off of mute for the whole time. If you're in a loud space, you can just come off of mute when it's time for you to share. And just tell us a little bit more, anything you want about that intention. If you're like, I feel like I don't want to share a lot, just share the word. And then afterwards, we'll all together say, and so it is. This way we can honor and acknowledge everyone's intentions. And Amelia is our iPhone. Yes. Nice to have you, Amelia. Awesome. And we have Dina here as well. Great. So we're going to get started, and I'm just going to go the way I see every lovely lady on the Zoom screen. And I see Kimberly first.
I hi everybody, Lady Kim Possible here. And mine was grounding a few weeks ago at Tracy's other event. It was grounding in who I was. And it's interesting because I've had to do that this past week. And so now it's more of self-connection. And if I'm more connected to me, everything else around me will just connect in the way it's supposed to be. So.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Bethany, I see you next.
Yes. So last week, my word was passion. And I felt like this going into Inspire was a natural next step for that. And yeah, I sort of like see that both for myself and also all of the women that I work with.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Susan, I see you next.
Hello, I see you. So, as soon as you started, this time it didn't take any time for me. It was kind of yelling at me. Step up, step up. So the intention to step up is really about my legacy, as my project is women leaving their legacy, and stepping into my leadership, as I said, gathering people together, mentoring them and empowering them for them to create their own legacies. This is for older women, as I'm an older woman. And I have certain wisdom and life experience that I want to share.
Stepping it up. And so it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Caroline, I see you next.
Yes. So the word self-love, like hyphenated, came up. It was self-love. And really, even you were asking about business, but I think everything goes back to self-love and making sure that I'm remembering me and having self-love in all my actions and what I'm doing. So I've felt that, like, yeah, that was important.
And so it is.
So it is.
Mindy, I see you next.
So service came up during the meditation for me. The word service came up, and my business has been growing very fast, and it's easy to get lost in the details and all the stuff, all the moving parts. And so I feel like the word came up to just bring me back to that. This is what you're here to do. Don't get lost in the emails. Don't get lost in the social media. You're here to serve.
And so it is.
So it is.
Rebecca, I see you next.
It's funny that I wrote it twice, because on my notes I wrote a different word twice. I wrote kindness, compassion, forgiveness, strength, and compassion. I'm going through some work on myself with self-love and forgiveness for a lot of self-guilt. So those words pop right up. That's all.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Regina.
I love it. You called me right after Rebecca, and we live right by each other in Lake Worth, Florida. So she is my dear, dear friend. So I'm so excited. Yeah, when we were doing the meditation, it was like I came from a space of, what does leadership mean to me, and how do I want to really, so all these words came up for me. I wrote them down. At first it was like, awaken and strengthen and heighten and hone. And then like really right at the end, it was really loud. It was like heighten and own my leadership. So that's what it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Ursula, I see you next.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be here. And yeah, I saw this event on Facebook, and I just felt called to join the group. I didn't know anyone, but the vibration just felt right. So I'm here today, and I wrote empowerment and trust. So I want to empower myself, but also other women. And what I see is that often the women have a lot of visions or projects, but they don't have really the trust in themselves that they reach their goals. And I think with more empowerment, and positive experiences, also the trust comes, and this is for me really important component. Yeah.
I love it. And so it is.
And so it is.
And we're happy that you're here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Jackie, I see you next.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, and I love hearing everyone else's intentions and how it flows through. Through the meditation, lots of different things were coming in, and I may have spaced about the leadership, but as soon as you said leadership, it just felt this abundant energy flowing out. And my intention, especially this year, is being extremely supportive and celebrating and helping all of my clients and students live in that world of abundance. There is more than enough for all of us, and together we can create this beautiful, abundant life.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Maria, I see you next.
Hi, Tracy. Thanks for having me today. My words were choose me. And I've spent my entire life in service of others. And I'm a recovering people pleaser. So I'm at a phase in my life where my hands are in a lot of different paths in personal life and business life. And I think choosing me in each and every one of my daily micro decisions is going to be the thing that carries me through and doesn't allow me to get too distracted and spread thin. So, and so it is.
And so it is. Amelia, I see you next.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm from Down East, Maine. I got this sent to me from my mom, and I just have recently in the past month really stepped into my own power. And I wanted to say that I am grateful for this. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the way you started it. Like, that's one thing that I don't see very often in things that I've attended like this. I feel like a lot of it's very male driven, the things that have come across me, which I don't know. I want more female stuff in my life and just connection before we get into everything, you know? Let's see. I was actually outside with my 4-year-old in nature when we did this, and I, really connected with it, and I really appreciated it. And intuition, authenticity, empowerment, passion, being direct with integrity and honesty, using my voice. So that's a big thing that I've done recently, is like found my voice, like how to use that with my own parents in like a productive way, while just sharing about like how I was affected when I was younger, just getting it off my chest, not to like belittle anyone, but I felt like saying that stuff like freed me up for more space for good things, and like also released that tension from those relationships. And then also like friendships is something that being also a recovering people pleaser, like not having any depth to any of my relationships because I wasn't honest. I was so scared of confrontation and hurting other people that I just kept everything in. And so like, lucky for me, I have this great friend who is also very much into this growth process and willing to take responsibility for her part in things in her own life, right? And I actually had the courage and kind of had to break it off with one other friend who just wasn't, stuck in the problems, never looking for the solution. And I always struggled with like being a good friend. Like, how do I just leave someone behind? Well, I've learned that like that was necessary in order to make space for this other friendship and put focus where I get stuff back too, and every time I do that, it just makes it even more like deep and connections. Like, that's what I want. Real people, real things, like depth, not the internet and everything being fake. And I feel like for me, a big thing like is like circle support that came through for me of like just connecting with other women and bringing us out into nature and just letting us be ourselves. And like, I'm someone who, like in the last month, stepped into my own power, and with that comes like authenticity. Like I am kind of also on social media trying to get going with coaching, because I feel that I have I've been through so much shit in my life. Like I lost a fiance who was also the father of my son. Before that, I lost my brother, and like I've been through addiction and car accidents. I was kidnapped and just all kinds of stuff. And like I feel like I have so much to offer, and I have a unique energy and passion here that I want to help others like be so much myself that it inspires them to also be themselves. So like I do videos online and things like that, but like somebody else also said, like, I don't want to get carried away with that. Like it's good to have focus so we can progress, but it doesn't have to be necessarily that, that vehicle or whatever, you know?
That's
I guess
great,
that's what came
Amelia.
in-person circles.
I love that. That's great. We're so happy to have you here. Thank you for your share and knowing it's a safe space to just be who you are. We really appreciate that. And welcome into the circle. This is virtual, but we are hoping the virtual can grow into in-person things for you as well. So thank you for being here and for everything Amelia shared. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. Lorena, I know you have popped in a little late, but we're just sharing any intentions that we have around what it is to embody our leadership. Anything you wanted to share with the group?
Yes. For me, it definitely is community and fun, because I work with women entrepreneurs, and I call this the sisterhood economy. If you, Tracy and I, if you collaborate, if you support each other, then your community grows, you grow. So it's all about having fun and enjoying and growth and like having more friends. So that's for me the most important thing.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. Dina, we'll give you a moment if you're able to come off camera to share. And if you aren't, feel free to type it in the chat box. So I'll give Dina just one moment. Okay. So Dina, once you get this, if you're able to type in the chat, yes, please feel free to type your intention into the chat. We're holding the space for you here. And let's just hold the space for all of the other women that are listening to the recording that couldn't make it. For my community of women, my clients, and then all the women that have joined my experiences and my Total Wellness Women Facebook group. That virtual community, as well as your communities, you know, that could really deepen their connection to their own leadership. Let's just all together for all of them say, and so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So generally, if you've been to some of my other meetings, this is where I love to do a live screenshot of everybody that's here. But for these, it's not going to be a cheers or whatever. I want you to envision like if your leader was sitting here and she was about to get a picture taken of her, what might your leader look like? Would she be like, ah? Would she have hands to heart? Would she be smiling with a little wink? Like, sit for a moment as I set up for this screenshot. What would your leader look like if she was getting her picture taken? And I'm going to give us a moment to do that while I get our screenshot ready. All right. So when you're ready, open your eyes if they're closed. And I want you to have your leader pose. And we're going to count to the count of 3. Yes, I love it, ladies. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's check it out. I'm a lady, so I want to make sure there's no blinking. Yes, look at all those leaders. I love you. I love you. Awesome. And you'll get that screenshot. So don't worry about not missing out on your cool leadership pose. So thank you for that, ladies. And for our next part, it's really taking what we just talked about and chiseling it down. So by the end, you have some more goals, tangible things that you can do to step into your leadership. So I'm going to close out this part.